This is Soundoff60, Southwest Louisiana's premier sports show.
Honeymoon may be over. You tell us.
Right.
How does Ed Orgeron handle that immense pressure in college football to win, and of course, what comes being the LSU head coach?
You understand the expectations of LSU. I have the same expectation of myself and my staff.
Yeah.
I've been at Miami. I've been at USC where you expected to win. That's the reason I wanted the job.
Soundoff60 is presented by Merchants and Farmers Bank, where your future is our history. Here are the guys, Rick, Scooter, and Kevin.
All right, kiddos, we're back for another hour of Soundoff60, and it's going to be a packed show. We got baseball, basketball, and football, of course. As we always say, that's
we
why
cover
the
the gamut
here, right?
of
you're
everything.
You're not going to get too charged up and try to put
but
one
this
on.
is always number one on our list. Make no mistake, though.
No, number one tonight is the Final Four. We'll go
Final
back
Four it is. Yes, it is.
All right,
but
let's start there.
football is the
Welcome
first
to the
love.
show. We got a great show lined up. Kevin Guidry on the far end, Scooter Hobbs, Rick Serro here. We got about 59 and a half minutes to go, so stay with us because it's going to be a great show. All right, let's start with the Final Four. You said last week nobody cares about Serro's bracket.
No, they don't.
At this point, I don't really care either.
Me.
I know that.
I don't even think anybody
But there
have
might be
at
one
this
or two
point.
might be
Okay.
wondering.
Okay.
Even though it was riddled like St. Valentine's Day massacre, that's how bad it was, I did get two in, I don't know how I did it, but I got two in the Final Four. That's how crazy it is. Michigan and Villanova.
Well, everybody got Villanova. Villanova's number one.
Well, true.
Okay,
It
I
wasn't
went with
that
Villanova.
hard.
I mean, that was number one.
And of course,
seed.
the other
Okay?
side, I can't imagine. Now, somebody in the entire world maybe got Loyola.
Nobody
Chicago.
got that.
Maybe. I don't
Nobody
know.
got that, dude.
What a story
Nobody.
that is. And of course,
Somebody
the other
did.
side is Kansas beating Duke over the weekend. So let's start with the Final Four. Is it every other year it seems like they're playing in San Antonio? And that's a great venue, but they're back in San Antonio.
It seems
again.
like it, isn't it?
It seems like they're there a lot, but that's a sidebar
Well, I
story.
missed that. I haven't
It just
noticed
seems that way with
What?
me.
And
All
I can
right,
ask
so-
Scooter's, because Scooter's our guy on knowing things in the past and history buff.
What do you say, he's
What?
old?
No, I said he's old. What made it happen in the Superdome that year,
What?
the Final Four?
It's been in the Superdome 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
Recently. It's been a while.
Fairly recently, I think.
No.
I don't remember
No.
exactly.
No, that's a tough one
been-
on
it's
me.
not
It's been a
I
while.
couldn't pinpoint.
No, it's
Because
not.
I couldn't pinpoint.
they do.
That's a
They
perfect.
normally play in football stadiums
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of them are.
But I remember being there in the Superdome, but I can't remember a recent one being there.
We'll have to research that. Okay,
Just thought
let's
Scooter
go
was
back
It's
to
been
the
there
present.
several
Let's go
times.
back
Yeah.
to the present and these matchups in San Antonio coming up this week. Michigan against the Cinderella story out of Chicago,
Yeah.
and then Villanova, the other side of the bracket with the Catholics. The
Yeah.
Catholics are
I'm
present.
not-
the Catholics
I'm
are
not-
here.
I'm not going there.
Villanova
I'm not going there.
against Kansas.
Kansas.
That's going to be. And look, Duke and Kansas. Other than the upsets, really was the game.
That
of
was
the
the
tournament.
game.
That was unbelievable play.
But
That definitely
for
was the
all-
game.
For all the, uplifting talk of, terriers and retrievers and
Ramblers,
ramblers,
Sister Jean.
and all the upstarts in 16 beating one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got two blue bloods, Kansas and
Duke fighting it out.
That's
that
gonna
was
be-
the game.
It really was.
That was
the
no
game.
doubt.
Now, not quite as compelling because it's not like either one of them hadn't ever been to
Been there
the
before.
Final Four.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, that was some basketball.
It was indeed. All right, we'll get
No
more
doubt
into
about
that in
that.
the second segment. We'll, in regards to who might be the odds-on favorite of that thing. Major League Baseball is finally here.
Yeah.
And right down the road, the Houston Astros.
Yeah.
We'll get into more of them a little bit later on in the show. But guys, boy, I was in the game notes or show notes, I should say. I ran down the roster and some key numbers, and boy, from top to bottom, they just look.
They do.
They really
They trying
look
to
very
stack, it looks
strong.
like, huh? It looked like they trying to
never-
defend that championship.
It never seems to happen these days. I mean, you would have said the same thing about the Cubs
You're
last
right.
year.
Yeah.
You're right.
They couldn't quite get that magic
You're right.
together again. But if ever a team seems primed for about a 3 or 4 year run,
Yeah.
it is
Houston
this
does.
Astro team.
And it's not only, I mean, it is heavily weighted on the pitching staff. And
No doubt.
Verlander is a great,
good everyday
great Hall of
lineup,
Fame. Yeah.
too.
But the everyday
know
guys,
what?
the everyday guys are
He may fall off. He recently got married.
Did he get married to Upton?
He got married.
He's a smart man. Kate Upton.
He did get married. Yeah, he did. He did get married.
It seems to screw up
He did
golfers. I don't know about baseball players.
Matter of fact, didn't the Astros have 2 guys that ended up getting married?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not
The one that the MVP, the one that won the MVP.
George
what's his name?
Springer?
Altuve?
Springer got married, and the other guy, the pitcher, got
Altuve.
married. Both of them got married. No, Altuve, he didn't get married. No, he didn't get married. But yeah, 2 of them got married.
I could go down that path with Kate Upton, but I won't. I won't. I could throw
Never
in a
mind,
tidbit or
Rick.
two.
I was just kind of throwing it out
No,
there.
thank
just
you for
to
that.
say-
You guys better be careful.
Thank
I'm
you for that.
single. I
I
can
was
say
just,
what I want.
I was just kind
can.
of throwing it out
Good,
there.
good
That's
point
all.
on that. I mean,
I didn't mean anything by it.
anybody who follows the Verlander journey to Houston and that whole has to know who Kate Upton is. If
I
you
think
don't,
everybody does. I think
if
everybody
you don't, just Google. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Okay. But we'll talk more about Major League Baseball and who can possibly give the Astros a run.
Wow.
There are a lot of, there's some good teams out there. I mean,
Yeah.
Dodgers have some strength, and the Yankees. Again, we'll talk a little bit later on the show.
It's gonna be a
But
good
remember,
year.
Remember the dual bats coming to New York. All right. It's
gonna be a good year, though.
Alex
No
Bregman,
doubt.
of course, the former LSU star.
We've got to get him back on the show.
Boy, that'll be a
Been on
miracle.
this show before.
Yeah,
That'll be
we've
a
got to get him
miracle,
back
but
on, though.
we'll
We've never
keep
had him
trying.
on since they won the World Series.
Yeah,
We've
we'll
got to
keep
get
trying.
him on to kind of post-date that.
All right, locally, baseball. Let's touch on it and run the bases, if you will, on that. The McNeese Cowboys go down to Nichols again. Nichols, their sports, they pop up, don't they?
I know.
They pop up. Basketball, football, baseball. It's tough to
When
win a
did
series on the
Nichols
road.
become a Southland
don't
power? in
I wouldn't say they're
everything?
Southland Power, but they're a lot better than what they have been.
And a lot better.
Really, in all
Remember, we
Not
used
a
to make fun.
doormat.
We used to make fun of Nichols, man.
I'm
We
from
used to-
there. Now,
No,
let's not
I
go
know
too
you are,
far.
But we used to make fun of them, Rick, because
A little bit.
They were the Vanderbilt of the SEC.
Not like you make fun of Vanderbilt. We'll talk about Vanderbilt baseball.
They
in
were
a
the
second.
Vanderbilt of SEC, man.
All right,
I mean,
so
they,
the
Vanderbilt
Cowboys.
is just football. They struggle. Everything else, Vanderbilt's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. You're right,
really,
Scooter,
they
you're
are.
right.
All right, so the
Football, they
Cowboys,
do struggle.
The
You
Cowboys
think
lead.
football is everything.
it is everything.
Yeah.
What else is there?
What else is there? All right, the Cowboys drop 2. They get the last one
Yes.
over the weekend in Thibodeau. 9-14 overall. Still, in the Southland, still 6-3, well above 500. So again,
Consider their start. It's still encouraging.
yeah, still encouraging. We're still early here. 6-3 in the Southland, 9-14 overall. LSU, tough. Number 5 in the country is Vanderbilt. This is a team with, fill me in, college boy, very strong pitching. This is a team.
Traditionally, and it looks like again this year, LSU played fine.
Yeah.
I mean, they lost 2 of 3. They lost 1 by 2 runs, 1 by 1
Yeah.
run,
Yeah.
one,
Can't
1
complain.
by 4.
On the road, too.
I thought overall LSU, they're kind of banged up right now, but I thought they played very well.
Okay.
Give me a sidebar story to this Hillard. I'm not going to attempt the first name. This freshman. Special pitcher.
Kale, that's not hard.
Kale?
Not too bad. Not too bad. I thought
McHale.
more syllables than
McHale.
that. 4-1 overall.
And
What-
he
what-
should have won yesterday. He
Yeah.
gave up, 3 hits, I think?
Yeah.
And what was the pitch? What was the pitch count ratio strikes to balls? I mean, it was like
Oh, that was
60
off
out
the
of
charts,
90 or
off the
something.
charts.
Off the
Really?
charts.
I just love watching him pitch. I mean, he weighs 148 pounds.
More than that, Scooter.
He's 6 foot tall.
148.
He's 6 foot tall and weighs 148 pounds.
Basically, you double him. Basically, he's
No,
2 of
dude,
you.
no, dude.
He is 2 of, you're 2 of him.
You want to get on my weight? Stop it, Rick.
148 pounds.
What's
He must have
his
some
arms are
action.
about
He
that
must
big.
have some action.
But that ball just moves. And
Are you serious? Wow.
his body language, his facial expressions, never
You wouldn't know
change.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, give up a grand slam or strike out the
Okay.
side.
Yeah.
I'm coming
And this is
back
a
at you
freshman now.
again.
And this is a
Doesn't-
freshman.
Doesn't know.
freshman, yeah.
Doesn't know.
Yeah.
Where's he from?
Central in Baton Rouge, it's
Interesting.
like the outskirts of Baton
All right.
Rouge.
So this
Central
is
Iowa.
early in. This is against Vanderbilt now. Top 5 team.
That's a good.
This is
Good
quality
offense.
baseball. Is this somebody that that they can build with? I mean, through the year, or is this maybe?
Yeah. Well, he's solid as that number 3 pitcher.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
Sunday
Wow.
pitcher.
Oh yeah.
In fact, after
Wow.
the disaster their pitching was the first weekend of the season, that Notre Dame series, their pitching has come around pretty good. They're getting more and more options
Yeah.
with their pitching right now.
Okay.
They need to get some position players healthy.
Oh yeah. That would help. All right. All right. So we promised baseball. A little bit more baseball. A little bit
We're
later
going
on
to
in
talk
the
some more
show as
LSU
well.
though, because
All
I
right?
got a question for Scooter I'm going to ask
So,
later on.
To Kevin's delight, later on in the show, we will talk about Odell Beckham Jr.
Oh my God.
You were twisting our arms last week and the week before. We got to talk about Odell Beckham. We got to talk about the video. We got to talk about the problems Odell Beckham is facing this coming year.
Did I say that?
Yes.
I said that?
I mean, my arm was hurting. You were
that,
twisting
man?
us so bad
Okay,
about it.
okay.
We'll talk about
We
Odell
will then.
Beckham Jr.
We
a little
will.
bit later on, and the NFL owners meeting in Orlando. I got
Yes.
some. I want to throw my 2 cents in on that. All right. But when we come back, a little bit of Final Four and a little bit more local baseball. So hang around. It's going to be a great show. We're coming back in about 2 minutes. Stay right there.
Soundoff60 is presented by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at LaVerge Casino Resort.
For nearly 85 years, Merchants and Farmers Bank has provided dependable personal banking for Central and Southwest Louisiana. I saw your new boat last week, Chuck. Looks like fun. We have 8 convenient locations, checking and savings accounts, online bill pay, mortgage and personal loans, even a new app that allows you to take a picture of your paycheck and deposit it. Can't wait to see your kitchen remodel, Pam. Come in today to open a personal account. Merchants and Farmers, your future begins with our history.
You don't have to sacrifice taste to stay in the game. Miller Lite, always brewed to have more taste and be less filling. Miller Lite, hold true.
On or off the field, training and experience matter. As a board-certified and fellowship-trained surgeon, Dr. Brett Cassio has the training and experience to help you get back in the game. Award-winning research, the latest orthopedic techniques, right here at home. Cassio Sports Medicine.
Only one light beer has more taste, less calories, and half the carbs. This one. Miller Lite. Hold true.
All right, welcome back to the show, boys and girls. All right, let's get back on the Final Four, this matchup in San Antonio. You know, #1 seed Villanova, #1 seed Kansas. I gotta go with the Wildcats. I mean, I'm a big Villanova guy, but I gotta go with them as the odds-on favorite. You know, and I'll tell you why in a minute, but let me get what y'all thoughts on that.
I've done that before, and it kind of works out that way, Rick.
Meaning?
The #1 seed. You would want to put odds on that.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying Kansas is in there too.
Kansas is too.
And on the other side, it's that matchup, Michigan and Loyola Chicago,
Yeah.
which is
It
Michigan's a
is
very
funny
good team.
though. We get. Am I right? We get Villanova and
Kansas.
Kansas.
Yeah.
Kansas.
Yeah.
So you know we get the 2 that were supposed to be there
Supposed
in
to
the
be there.
semifinal, but it
But
ensures
now they got to play each other.
that
Of the other
upstart,
two,
either Sister Maria or Teresa, or
Sister Jean.
don't do that. Don't do
Sister
that,
Jean.
Scooter.
the Flying Nun.
Don't
Oh,
do that,
here we
Scooter.
go.
I'm not touching that.
Us Catholics
I am
were a
not
little
touching that.
sensitive, so watch it.
I am
okay?
not
We'll
touching
watch
that.
it now.
Scooter's on his own.
It's hard to think of Michigan as an unknown.
No,
That's right.
But
No.
when I saw LSU beat them in Hawaii this year,
I know.
I mean, I wasn't there.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't get to go to that one in
But
Hawaii.
they're in the Final Four.
But I'd never thought this is a Final Four team.
Yeah.
Wow.
no.
But they were also Big Ten tournament champions.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Here's
LSU beat them pretty
beat them.
handily.
Here's my view on
That's crazy,
Villanova,
Scooter.
in particular Villanova, and me peeking in on games and watching games.
Rick,
They win pretty, they win ugly, they win when they're not scoring well. They just know how to win.
That's
and
it, Rick.
a lot of it is the coaching. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
but
Coach
to
Jay
me,
Wright is just a
there's
great
always-
coach, and they always have that pivotal player. It seems
Yeah,
like,
well,
you know, pivotal player.
And there's a Big East style to me that goes back.
Goes
to the,
back.
You know, when Syracuse and Georgetown
Yeah.
and all them were
Yeah.
still in it.
Yeah.
But very fundamental and physical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
not a lot of flash.
Not a lot of
But
flash.
so fundamentally
Yeah,
good.
I got you on that one. I got you on that
That's
one.
Villanova to me.
Yeah,
And that's-
yeah.
And that's kind of what's the Duke of the past. Remember, Duke was always that team that you knew when they came to play. Sometimes they didn't have the best of players,
Right.
but they was just fundamentally
They usually
sound.
had the best. of
They
players.
had some good players, but not every year, Scooter. But they would beat you by just being fundamentally sound.
Well, that Duke-Kansas semifinal
and that's
game,
what Duke
it-
has always
you know,
prided himself on. Always.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
a call,
Always.
one call, the charging call late,
Yeah.
the foul, the center
I agree.
fouling out. I mean, the shot by
was right there,
Grayson Allen,
It
and
was
it
right
bounced.
there.
Did it not go in and come out? I don't know. It looked like it was dropping.
It was right there.
I mean, it was that could have been the difference.
Well,
it could have been Duke
number
easily.
one, I thought the Final Four was going to start before they finally made a decision on one of those video reviews.
Yeah, exactly. Some delays there. You know, some great basketball from start to finish with all the upsets of the tournament and who's in. Of course, the Cinderella story being Loyola Chicago. Let's gear toward our regional teams in regards to the SEC. Kentucky went, I think, further than I thought Kentucky would go.
But Rick, Kentucky,
I really thought there'd be more SEC teams in there later.
But
they got a lot of teams in.
Oh yeah, but Kentucky, by the end of the regular season, I mean, they won the SEC tournament.
Yeah,
they did.
They were, you know, your typical one and done Kentucky team.
Yes.
You know,
Leave
with
my guys
all the
alone,
one and
Scooter.
dones. By the end of the year, they were playing really well.
Yes.
And they had the path wide open.
They
for
did.
them
Holy
to
smokes.
get to the Final
Yeah,
Four.
they did.
I
They
mean,
did.
It was right there.
That
for them.
regional considered
So
an
that's
easier
gotta
way.
be a disappointment for Kentucky.
I just
I have to agree.
Maybe I was leaning more toward what I saw early in midseason, maybe sprinkled in a little late. I just wasn't overly impressed with a lot of their players. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm guilty of comparing Kentucky of the last 2 or 3 years. I didn't think they went further than I thought. Now you've watched them much more than I did this year, but again, I thought there would be more SEC teams in there, at least in the Sweet 16. I really did.
I thought Mount One would probably get to the Final Four this year.
Really?
I actually thought Auburn was a good team.
I did too.
Yeah,
I did too.
Before they got beat by 50.
Yeah, I did too.
That's a lot.
I did too. I thought
that's
the
a lot.
SEC.
You know, but you wonder. You know, Kentucky kind of, and even their I want to say idiot fans. They're zealous fans.
Yeah,
I'll call them.
zealous. Call them zealous.
They've
Scooter.
kind of bought into this one and done, you know, the philosophy. They're going to get, you know, the parade All-American team and get them for 1 year.
1 year and they gone.
And then send them on. And they've had a lot of really good teams. But that's been what, 12, 13, 14 years this has been going on?
Okay.
And I know it sounds funny to say, they only have one national championship in that time.
Yeah.
Though. So it's hard to call that a raving success.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Look,
And no, one national championship is one more than a lot of people.
that is right. That is right.
But for Kentucky, they
Hard to do.
They
You're-
expect one about every 5
No, I'm
years.
with you on that, Kevin.
Less
I
than that.
don't-
No,
look,
less than that. Less
I
than 5
don't
years.
know. Look, I don't know. You know, I'm not sitting here looking at grading tapes and looking at them that closely. I don't see any surefire NBA guy on that team, Kentucky, right now.
What?
I really don't.
Check
no.
your forehead. Check
no,
your forehead.
I don't.
Calipari, let me
Well,
tell you
I'm
something.
not smart enough. to
No,
Calipari-
I don't. I'm not
Cali-
overly impressed. Now, they're good college basketball
Yes,
teams
they are.
together.
They are.
I
They
mean,
are.
but I'm serious. I'm talking how
But-
they play consistency and physically.
But let me say this.
Physically. No, I don't.
They've got some NBA players on that team, Rick, if you're not seeing them.
Eventually, but I'm talking about
Yeah.
next season. I'm
But
talking about
the
coming up
thing is
NBA
this,
draft. That's
you
what I'm
ever-
talking about.
You ever wonder sometimes when you have as many good players on one team, it's hard to say that they're really good? Listen to what I'm saying, though.
Well, you're talking
Do you
about they
know what
break
I'm
up the stats, if you will. There's only one ball.
Yeah,
Well,
So many
exactly.
shots. Well, I'm
You've
with you
got
on that.
5 guys that's going to eventually be NBA players. It's kind of hard to say, are they really good? Because they all are good. So
Well, they're
what do
good
you
because
grade
they're
that-
at Kentucky.
So what do you grade one of those guys on when you've got 4 other guys that's probably going to be playing next to you in the NBA someday? That's what I'm saying.
Wait a
Rick.
minute now. Wait a
Normally-
minute. You said someday, maybe. Okay, but not next year.
Maybe not
Not
next
this
year.
coming
but-
summer's draft. No,
but
I don't
it's,
see it.
It's not like years past when you've had 5 guys that all came out the same year when they were one and done. That happened to Kentucky. You know that.
In the,
that
you know,
happened.
4 or 5 years ago, they had about 3 of them that were just superstars. You
Yeah.
could tell. All right.
But that's
not
the
this
thing
year.
that I
Not
say.
this year.
People say that, but
Not this
you
year.
got to look at the
I
team.
disagree. I think, well,
You see them?
They've got some players, Rick. Seriously, Rick. Rick, Kentucky's got
and
some
maybe
will
players.
you're
tell.
right. Maybe that was
I'm
another
telling
you.
the top team. But back to my point. I mean, if you really think about it, and I think Calipari is a terrific coach.
He's a
I
heck
really
of a
do.
coach, Scooter.
I think he is, too.
Particularly the way he takes all these guys
He-
who are just doing a toe tap before going to the NBA.
Right. Right.
And you know, breathing on college.
Right.
And really does turn them into a team. But can you really say
Yeah.
that, you know, have they underachieved?
Rick, no, but Scooter's got a
Considering
point.
the talent.
Scooter's got a point.
I would
imagine if he
say yeah.
Imagine if he could have kept some of those guys that were one and done, Rick, for 2-3 years.
Yeah, but he knew when he took
He
them.
knew. He knew,
Yes,
Scooter.
he knew.
That he
knew.
wasn't.
That's what he was the one college coach that said, I'm not going to keep a guy here. He can go to the next level and play.
I'm like
I'm not going to keep him.
hypocritical. I'm with you. I have a lot of respect for John Calipari and what he does with those teams and how
That's hard,
he's
Rick.
a tactician.
That's hard.
But he has underachieved when you think of the type of players he's. But it's also hard to win.
But no,
it's
Rick,
also hard to win.
But how do you say underachieved, though, Rick? When you've got a guy for 1 year, how can you underachieve, Rick? For 1 year?
But he has NBA-style players, and he's got one title according
but
to
Rick,
Hobbs. One.
That's
Maybe.
tough, Rick.
My
That's
opinion
tough.
might change if he had 3. Is it fair? 3 out of 12?
I don't know,
When
Rick.
you take that,
I don't know.
What did Ben Simmons do for LSU? Nothing, really. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scooter's right, though.
Kentucky's
Scooter's
always
right.
had 3 or 4
That's
Ben
right.
Simmons.
That's right.
Now, imagine if Ben would have stayed another year. I don't know.
That was not happening.
No, no, it wasn't happening, Scooter.
No,
No,
no.
it
All
wasn't
they
happening.
could do
But I'm
No
just
difference.
saying,
keep him
Scooter.
in the city limits for 1 year.
No, he's still unproven
Believe
in the
me,
NBA.
I know, Scooter. No, he's a heck.
he's still unproven.
Rookie in the year.
He's not unproven,
What
Rick.
I'm
The
saying
boy's playing his
what
butt
I'm
off.
saying is unproven. Well, he's
What's that?
proven an
You
NBA
know-
player.
You
Let me-
know I've dedicated
No.
my life to ignoring the NBA.
I know.
But
No,
did I
he's-
read the other day he
What
has
I'm
like
saying-
11 triple-doubles?
What I'm saying is he's proven NBA quality. What I'm saying is his diversity of game.
Okay.
He doesn't have an outside shot. Okay.
That will come.
And in the NBA, you got to
That
have an
will
outside
come.
shot.
But like Scooter
We'll
said, he's
see.
probably going to be rookie of the year.
You got this.
That
you
will
keep
come.
looking off in the future. You keep projecting. Kentucky will have
Golly,
6
man.
people in the NBA.
Okay.
Eventually, yeah.
I'm not gonna
eventually they
project it.
might.
I'm not gonna project it,
Eventually they
okay?
might. Oh,
All
all right,
right, then.
coming up next, we're going to talk NFL owners meeting in Orlando. National anthem.
Jerry Jones.
National anthem is on my mind again, and rule changes. We'll do that. Odell
should be
Beckham
interesting.
Jr. is on the agenda
Yes,
because
he
of
is.
Kevin Guidry.
Yes, he is.
We'll talk Odell Beckham Jr.
Yes, he
a little
is.
bit later on. That's our standard TV tease. But
As
coming up
always.
next, the NFL owners meeting, we'll talk national anthem and catching the football in the NFL. In about 2 minutes, we're coming right back. Stay right there.
Soundoff60 is presented by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at La Berge Casino Resort. Check us out online at soundoff60tv.com.
Enjoy a more reliable, responsible, intelligent, and connected indoor environment that easily adjusts to your preferences, no matter where you are. Uncompromising, unmistakable. Luxair. Get connected with a Luxair dealer near you by visiting luxair.com/solar supply.
Let's talk about funerals of the happy variety. See, back in the 70s, there were folks in Austin who liked music and Shiner Bock. Trouble was, there wasn't always a delivery truck for Shiner Bock. But there was a hippie man with a funeral car. Wisdom would say, don't put the fate of your beer in the hands of delivery hippies with hearses. Then again, wisdom does not drink.
All right, welcome back to the show. We've been
off
talking
my
about the NFL owners meeting coming up in
Looking
Orlando
up
this
Odell
week.
Beckham.
I'm always interested when it comes to the owners meetings and things that might come out of it and what's on the agenda, what topics will be discussed. Already, there's been some shots fired. Now, how controversial this will get between Texans owner Bob McNair, who at times sounds like a complete idiot, okay? And then the Jets CEO Chris Johnson. Some of the things is a prelude. Here, and I'm paraphrasing some of the
Remember
statements.
what this is coming from now, Rick, when you make your comment.
do you
Remember
mean?
the comment you didn't make. Remember where it's coming from now.
Well, I'll make it. You remind me where it's coming
Remember
from.
where it's coming from now.
All right, so Bob McNair, owner of the Texans, wants, these are my words now, stricter stricter rules or standards of conduct by the players when it comes to the national anthem.
Wow.
Now, either he wants it league-wide. Now, if he doesn't get it league-wide, an owner owns the business. The owner can say what he wants without, though, there's always that stepping over the line of breaking an NFL rule in regards to some of the things that Jerry Jones was talking about. Remember that last year? So McNair says he wants everybody to stand, and he wants everything to go his way when it comes to the national anthem. Now, Johnson with the New York Jets, the quote here, and this is a quote, "That is a fantastically dumb idea." I picked that up over the weekend. Yes.
Fantastically, he said.
The CEO of the New York Jets.
Fantastically dumb idea.
A fantastically dumb idea.
It was an inherently dumb statement. Regardless of what you feel on this issue,
yes,
the NFL owners obviously want it to go away.
Yeah, they better want it to go away.
As long as they keep making statements like that,
it won't go away.
They force the player's hand, and it's not going to
You're
go
exactly
away.
right, Scooter.
And it would get its 15 minutes
It
of
would.
playing
Exactly.
and be
If it was
done.
left alone, Scooter.
Jerry Jones, to me, extended it last year.
He did.
Yeah, he did. He did.
It was pretty much two-thirds of the season. Remember, it kind of went away. The last third of the year.
Let me tell you what
Eric
happened.
Eric Reed, the former LSU Tiger,
Yes.
who knelt with Colin Kaepernick, while a San Francisco 49er. What I picked up over the weekend was Eric Reed says, "I will no longer kneel." He basically says, "I will stand."
Yeah.
That's what I get from that.
Look.
Okay, so this could be
If the owners would shut up, it
exactly,
would go away.
exactly. But they think the players are out there wanting to do something.
The thing that motivated this to the extent that it's at now, there was one person that called the players idiots.
Who?
Well, I think what you're talking about Donald Trump, the president. He called them SOBs.
Yeah, I didn't
called
want to
him
use
a
that
number
word.
of things.
I didn't want to use that
He called
word.
him an SOB.
Boy,
That's what did it.
Why
Well-
are you scared to call
No,
out
I'm just
Trump?
saying. I'm just saying. That's what did it, Rick. It would have gone away.
But
it would have gone
But the president
away.
has been out of it. The president, he's got more important issues.
But
Well,
Rick, that
he's
comment,
But he
Rick,
did
that
the
comment.
same thing. If he would have kept his mouth shut,
Exactly.
I mean,
He stirred the
He
pot.
stirred it
He
a little
stirred the
longer
pot.
than
He
it was.
stirred the pot.
That comment, Rick, it more so made players feel like, oh, I mean, that did something to you, man. Really.
It was there. It was kind of percolating. And then when Trump did that, it just
You got
the
some
pot
guys
came
going
off.
back
The pot.
now. They're involving their moms
Yeah.
and everything. That was just totally off the charts
The
right
owners
there.
need to
Off
shut
the
up
charts.
about the
But
national
it's-
anthem
look.
and figure out what a legal forward.
Let's end up. Let's start with the national anthem and end with the national anthem before we move on about the owners' meeting. Gentlemen, should they address this subject with some type of ruling coming out of this meeting? Should the owners,
Rick,
try to get something league-wise?
No, Rick.
League-wise.
Let me tell you why, Rick.
I don't think
Because
I
you're
don't
making a player do something. If it's not in his heart to do, you can't. You can't. If it's a league rule that's going to be conduct detrimental to you as a player, by all means. But you're dealing with something that's here. You can't mess with that, Rick.
I agree. I agree.
You can't
And
mess with
there's
that.
there's a freedom
can't.
of speech.
You can't mess
thing
with
here.
that.
Yeah, there is freedom of speech. How much freedom of speech do you have at your job?
Okay.
There are rules in
Yes,
any
there are.
workplace.
There are.
And they're
There are.
totally legal.
There are.
They are jobs. I get that. But we also know that this is a unique job where, to a degree, the inmates run the asylum.
All right,
No.
McNair.
Much as
Don't
the
go there,
owners.
McNair.
No.
Don't go there.
No.
Don't go there, McNair.
Beer boy, paper boy, casino boy. Nobody asks us to say the national anthem when we come into work every morning. Nobody.
No.
Nobody.
True, and you know,
Nobody.
I kind of forgot this about 8 or 9 years ago. It wasn't a thing. It just in the last 10 years it became a thing.
Yes,
if
it
you
did.
will.
Yeah.
I mean, television-wise,
I don't-
television. It became
Well,
broadcast
yeah,
on
well,
television.
if they really want it to go away, they'll do like colleges and have the national anthem before the players
Yeah.
run out on the field. I mean,
All right, so I agree with you. I agree with you. No, it should not be a league ruling on this. Teams should handle it individually, and
I agree.
I think smarter heads and clearer heads will prevail from the
Should.
player side and the ownership side.
let me
That's-
clarify. You accused me of going all Bob McNair, and maybe I did to a degree. What I just wanted to point out was, yes, these players are employees, but they do have a lot more power than the average employee in your
And they
normal
should.
business.
And
They do.
should.
They do because of the
And
stage
they
that they put
should.
on.
Well, okay.
They
fine.
should.
Okay.
It's-
all right.
And I won't argue that.
They get, correct me if
Well,
I'm
it's
wrong,
like
they get
it's the entertainment business.
54% of the revenue
It's
goes
the
to the
stage that they're put on, Rick, which in turn you're more exposed to the general public, which the general public has a lot to say with
Yeah.
what we're dealing with.
Right.
So yes, by all means,
The
Rick.
players are the game.
By all means.
The players are the game.
They are.
The owners own the team.
Say
but
it
the
again.
players are the game.
Say it again.
All
I like the way you say
players-
I've
that, Rick.
always thought that was
I like the way you
overstated,
said that.
too. It's a little off target, though. Yeah, these 22-year-olds that become instant
Millionaires.
multi-millionaires and claim they are the game. Yeah, but guys 50 years ago laid this foundation.
No doubt.
Well, no,
no doubt.
I
Scooter.
agree with you, but still, the
No doubt,
players, the
Scooter.
players were the game 50 years ago. The
No
players
doubt,
are the
Scooter.
game still. All right,
Yeah.
Let's get on the forward, the pass thing. Yeah, you know,
This gonna be fun. Watch
I've
this.
always had
This
a
gonna be
problem.
fun.
I'll be honest with you guys. I have a problem with the ground causing a fumble. And the ground, you know, the ground can't cause a fumble.
No, it can't, Rick, because let me tell you why. Didn't you make the ground an extra player? See, one of my coaches explained this to me. The ground cannot cause a fumble because then you're saying you've got 12 men on the field.
Okay.
But a ground
Did I do
can
that good?
cause an incompletion.
Yes,
Yes.
it can.
And I
Yes.
get
Yes,
that.
it can,
Yeah.
Scooter.
To me, it's not rocket science.
Where did
Look,
the ground come into play?
I don't
here?
know. This been
I don't-
years.
Why
This
did
has
the
been years.
colleges not struggle with this?
I don't know.
I don't think it's the difference in 1 feet and 2 feet.
Well,
'cause the
no.
NFL can't get it in the middle of the
Well,
field.
but the thing is, Scooter,
But I mean, colleges, you might have a bad call, but it's a bad call. It's
Yeah.
not a bad
All
rule.
right, in the college game,
But-
do they have to have possession once they hit the ground and start rolling around on the
I
ground?
don't know if the rule is any different.
I
other than
don't
1
think it
foot,
is.
2 feet.
I don't think it is.
well, the thing is, it's much
Redfish,
harder.
bluefish.
It's
you
much
know.
harder to put 2 feet in one. So that's why they tell the pros you got to do 2 than 1.
Well, I got that.
So
I
that's
got
why.
that. I got that.
You're on a different level.
But
You
I
should be able to
just-
do that.
I just don't remember normally in a college game.
It's
having
never,
all
it's never been this big of a
controversy
deal, Scooter. Really,
over
it's
whether
never
he
been this big of
made
a deal.
football move or.
I
What
think
is
it's
a
going to
fo-
happen.
What is a
They're going to make
football
changes.
move?
They're
They
going
have
to make
to.
a change.
They have to.
What is a football move?
This-
What if you make a basketball move?
Yeah.
Does
yeah,
that count?
Yeah. But the thing is, the rules can't be different from a running back versus a receiver because they are. If you make a forward move as a running back,
Well, no,
You can't- what's the
get
thing?
The ground.
yeah,
I get the ground to the extent if you're diving, you know, say you extend
right.
yourself.
You have to leave the ground.
And you kind of make the catch as you're coming down. I see where you've got to maintain possession.
Mm-hmm. You have to.
There.
You have to. And
Yeah,
and
and
it
I
goes
get
back.
that, and that's right.
I get that too. But the thing is this: when you make a catch, this is where the problem's going to come in at, Scooter. When you make a catch and you're over the goal line and you drop it, is that a touchdown?
Well, I'm big on breaking
Now, let me
the
tell you
plane.
something.
I'm big on breaking the plane. Once you break that plane,
why
it's
does a
touchdown.
running back and a quarterback break the plane
Exactly.
and it's a score?
Exactly.
But if a receiver does it, it's not a
Exactly.
score.
Here's where I disagree with you, Hobbs. I think
That's what's
You're
gotta be
saying-
fixed.
You're saying a catch in the NFL, if they catch it and they catch it, it's there. Give me a football. Anybody got one? You got it in your mitts.
Yeah.
And then they go to the
See,
ground. They go to the ground, and if they bobble it, you're saying it isn't incomplete?
No,
Is
if
that
they
what your
bobble it.
position?
No,
If they bobble it
And keep
when
possession
they
of it,
hit
that's
the
a catch.
ground without, bouncing off of anybody or anything
Okay, all
like
right,
that,
all right.
just clear shot to the ground, yeah, that's incomplete.
Wow.
No,
I mean,
Scooter didn't say that right. Scooter didn't say that right. If you, Scooter did not
I
say
think
that
if you
right.
catch it and you go to the ground and you bobble it and then you regain possession.
That's a catch.
It's a
No,
catch.
Yeah,
That's a catch.
okay, if it doesn't hit the ground.
That's a
No, it
catch.
doesn't hit the ground.
No, it doesn't hit the
no,
ground.
yeah,
No,
That's a catch.
If it hits the
No.
ground, it's incomplete.
No, what Scooter is saying that if he catches it and the bottom of the ball hits the ground, yes, that's not a catch. You've got to
Well,
have
as long as
you've
his
got to have
hands stay
possession
on.
of it this way.
Boy, this is complicated. We're complicating
It's
this.
not complicated.
This is
It's
why-
not complicated.
This is
It's not.
why it's hard. This
If
is
the
why-
ground
we
causes
got
it,
three different versions.
if the ground causes it,
Why can colleges figure it out?
I don't know why. I don't know.
if the
why.
ball touches the ground before you catch it, that's an
Well, it
incomplete
depends
pass.
on whether your hands are under.
Your hands are under it.
We have
That's
gotten
different.
way
We've
off
gotten
track.
totally. Next week, we bring a football, and we'll try to describe it on our table here. All right, we're running out of time.
We'll do it.
We're out of that. Boy, that. All right.
We will do it.
Holy smokes. Coming
I'm
up
looking
next,
forward to it.
Odell Beckham Jr. We'll talk about his future with the Giants, what he wants, what he should get, the whole bit. Houston Astros, Major League Baseball, coming up a little bit later on in the show. Stay right there. We're coming right back.
Soundoff60 is brought to you by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at La Berge Casino Resort. The boys in the box will be right back.
For nearly 85 years, Merchants and Farmers Bank has provided dependable personal banking for Central and Southwest Louisiana. I saw your new boat last week, Chuck. Looks like fun. We have 8 convenient locations, checking and savings accounts, online bill pay, mortgage and personal loans, even a new app that allows you to take a picture of your paycheck and deposit it. Can't wait to see your kitchen remodel, Pam. Come in today to open a personal account. Merchants and Farmers, your future begins with our history.
You don't have to sacrifice taste to stay in the game. Miller Lite, always brewed to have more taste and be less filling. Miller Lite, hold true.
Enjoy a more reliable, responsible, intelligent, and connected indoor environment that easily adjusts to your preferences, no matter where you are. Uncompromising, unmistakable. Luxair. Get connected with a Luxair dealer near you by visiting luxair.com/solar supply.
Only one light beer has more taste, less calories, and half the carbs. This one. Miller Lite. Hold true.
Kevin, do you know what a catch is, man?
I do.
Over the commercial break, you figured it out?
I do.
You might be the only
I do
one.
know what a catch is. I do
might
know
be
what a
the
catch
only.
is.
I think we have 3 different versions. We'll tackle
do
that,
know what a
no pun
catch is.
intended. Maybe next week we'll get back
We
on
will.
that. All right.
We'll bring a football
Odell
to
Beckham
illustrate that
Jr.
better.
What an interesting cat this is. First off, let me set a quick stage here.
Now, don't talk about my Tiger too bad now, Rick. Okay?
He wasn't really a problem at LSU. I mean, he walked the line, didn't he?
He had little hiccups, but nothing major like
Nothing
this.
major.
Nothing major.
Nothing.
And I'm not saying it's major in the NFL. He had that little kissing and kicking and the whole thing.
Attention, mostly
He
attention.
did a
Can't get
goofy,
away with that kind of stuff in
Mostly,
college.
mostly attention, Rick.
and
That's
he
all.
did that thing in the end zone about looking like a dog. Wasn't that Odell Beckham?
Yeah.
That wasn't cool.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been cool.
But
in
he
college.
hasn't
That would've
he
gotten
hasn't
flags.
shown up on a police
that
blotter
would've
in
stood.
New York. We'll get on the video. I didn't realize it was in Paris. The video.
Well, I was trying to tell
Okay,
you guys
I know
that,
you wanted to talk about
I
it
was
last week.
trying
All
to tell you and
so
do that.
again, he walked the line to a large degree at LSU.
did.
All right, but he gets to the NFL, the hair, the Nike contract,
money.
him being one of the best receivers in the league.
13 million
All
a year
of
can do that to
sudden,
you, Rick.
You know, the ego is smashing through the
Well,
helmet.
it was always like he and Jarvis Landry to me were always kind of connected at the hip at LSU, and to me they were totally different personalities.
Yeah.
I mean, you will say that Beckham never, and he didn't. He, as far as I know, never got in any trouble at LSU.
No, nothing major.
But Jarvis Landry was always the team leader. The Moore walked the straight and narrow, the big team leader.
Yeah.
Where Beckham was considered probably the most talented player
Yes.
on the team.
By all
But
means.
Landry was always that team
Yes.
leader
Yeah.
kind of guy.
You
So
know, Rick,
let me set this stage, Kevin. Giants owner John Mara, and I've read some articles on John Mara, and you know the family goes way back. I mean, it's
Yeah.
very stoic, very quiet. Again, the antithesis of a Jerry Jones. Doesn't say much, but when he says, it's like E.F. Hutton. You listen when John
You
Mara
do.
makes a comment.
You do.
Some of the comments over the weekend is he's getting a little frustrated with questions about Odell Beckham Jr. He's tired of talking about Odell Beckham Jr. and has hinted that on that Giants team, even though they sucked last year, no one is untouchable.
he
So
made
this
that
is
comment.
John Mara now.
But I tell you what, he probably wished that he could retract that, though.
Well, maybe so.
I promise you that. Because let me tell you what, Rick.
Beckham is in the last year of his contract.
He
And
is.
he does not, he says he won't play without an extension.
Without an extension.
And
How
I
many
don't
times
blame
have
him.
we heard that?
But I don't blame him.
How many players have said that, though? That's not something that's unheard of.
He
Seriously?
wants a contract now because
Look.
he came off an injured year. He
He
sat
did.
out. He was
Look,
injured half the
look,
year last year.
look,
Go ahead,
But
Kevin.
This
he
is my
wants
thing.
100 million. Did I hear that?
We're going to get into
I
that.
don't think he's
You-
getting that.
You're in the largest media market
Yes,
in
he
the
is.
world, Rick.
Yes, he is.
If this kid was in Cleveland, would this even be a subject? Would this be a subject?
well,
if he was in Cleveland.
you know, it's-
let me get back to this, though,
He's
Rick.
Odell Beckham, though. He's one of the best receivers in the league. So
He's
maybe
one of
so.
the best, if not the best, Rick.
One of the best.
Let me tell you something,
Antonio
Rick.
Brown is the best.
Antonio Brown is good, but Odell Beckham has a
Stay
whole
on-
nother
stay on-
gear.
stay on
He's got a whole
subject.
nother gear,
Stay on
Rick.
subject.
Look, look, Rick. Giants owner, if he doesn't give this kid an extension, they should fire his ass.
Oh, yeah. He's going to fire himself. Okay,
Well,
he's the
well,
owner of the
somebody's
Giants.
gonna get rid of him.
All right.
Okay. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you, Rick? Why
Okay.
wouldn't you?
Because of what's happening.
Rick, let me tell you
All the
something.
stuff on
Rick,
the
let me tell you
field,
something.
the video from Paris.
There are some players
This
that have
one
gotten
wanna
more
make a
money than
deal.
Odell
Look.
Beckham that have done worse.
How
Some of them
stupid
have
is
actually
look,
shot
look,
people.
Look,
What is this
I'm
you're holding up?
just something as a reference,
Odell
guys.
Beckham Jr. has the biggest contract in the NFL in regards to a sponsorship.
Yes.
$48 million
Yeah.
deal with Nike.
Yeah.
More than Tom Brady.
Yeah.
More
Yeah.
than anybody. Okay. And he lets a girl in Paris shoot video of him in bed
Just stupid.
with
that's
powder
all I
on a
can
table
say.
and with
That's
him
all
with
I can
some
say.
type
I
of
can
butt
just
in
say
his
just
hands.
stupid.
That's stupid.
That's all I can say. Just
He is
stupid.
selling Nike.
I have always thought if Beckham, I don't think Beckham is inherently bad, so to speak. Or,
He does dumb things, Scooter. He does
criminal.
dumb things.
He's very emotional.
That's all. He does dumb
And-
things.
But I do
He's a
think,
good kid.
I do think there's a maturity issue.
Yes,
I
it
think
is.
3 or 4 years from now, Beckham may be fine.
But see,
I
this
think
is-
there is a maturity problem.
This is where you have to have somebody on that team that's like a big brother.
Oh, here we go.
had him.
Here we,
I'm
you
just
want
saying.
you want a full-time chaperone from Odell
Lifford
Beckham.
Hobley,
Peterson.
Lifford Hobley, and Jeffrey Dell. You didn't want to do nothing stupid
He's in
around
the
those two guys.
NFL. He's in the NFL.
I understand that though, but Rick, you need those guys still, man.
Oh, I'm okay with that. An
You need
influence
those
in the
guys
locker
still,
room.
man.
But you don't need a guy, connected to his hip, following him
Not
around.
connected
Is
to
that
his
what you're
hip,
saying?
Rick, but you know what?
Well, no,
If you go into a
that's not
club,
what he means.
if you go into a club, have a teammate with you know that he's gonna pull you out of there if something gets
Okay,
stupid.
you want a chaperone then? You want a
Call
chaperone?
it what you want. I think Scooter know what I'm talking about.
No,
There
I'm
have been
call it
some.
what you
I'm
want. though.
hearing you.
But
I'm
There
hearing
have
you.
been some in the NFL.
You're right.
but you've got to have it
And he
sometimes,
shouldn't
Rick.
have. All right, look. Antonio Brown makes about $18 million a year.
Yeah.
Odell Beckham should make $18 million a year. Okay, or at least 16.
What he
or
makes now,
17.
13? I think he makes 13.
12 or 13. All right.
I think he makes 13.
Now you're saying Beckham is trying for I think he wants quarterback money. He's not going to get quarterback money. He's not.
Let me tell you
He'd be
something.
an idiot. You don't
Let me
get
tell you
quarterback
something.
money. No.
You're in a place such as New York.
You
What's
don't
unheard
get,
of?
you don't
What's
get
unheard of?
No, you don't
If you're
get
in a
quarterback
city
money.
such as New York, what's unheard of?
New York, the Giants have a lot of issues. They need a lot of help. Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Lawrence Taylor the first defensive player to ever make $1 million?
Oh gosh, you're going back.
You always look
You're
to
going
me
back
like
30
I'm just
years.
saying.
You're going back 30
Well,
years.
you're supposed to know this stuff, Scooter.
I don't know.
It happened in
Do
New
the
York, Rick.
Giants?
It
you might
happened
be
in New
right.
York.
Do the Giants?
I got to believe the first player to make $1 million was a quarterback, though.
do the
Defensive
I
player.
think he was the
Defensive
first
player.
defensive player.
He
I think
was.
He was. the first
He
defensive
was.
player. Do the Giants keep Odell Beckham Jr.?
Yes, Rick. Who
All right.
wouldn't?
Even with
is that
all
even
the
a
crap.
question?
Even with all the crap.
Rick, there are some players that have done worse than
I know
staying with
that.
teams.
I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing
That owner better
Okay.
get it
I'm
together if he
not.
wants the team.
You don't.
He better get it together.
No, he owns the team.
He owns
owns
the
the
team.
team.
If he wants to keep a good team, he
might-
better get it together. Lose one of your best players?
Beckham might
Serious?
be. He needs to be maybe more concerned with the GM. They have a new GM and a new head coach.
GM doesn't run nothing. The owner calls the shots. He doesn't run
Well,
nothing.
we'll see.
He doesn't run
We'll
anything.
see. You're right. I think there's a maturity issue with Odell Beckham. He's an extreme talent.
Oh, no
Extreme
question.
talent.
And the thing
Catching
is,
the ball, elusive, the speed.
I
He is.
can't see
and he's
how-
got that relationship with Eli Manning. Now maybe Manning can.
Yeah.
Manning has tried, I think. a little
Eli
bit.
has calmed them down on the sideline a number of times.
Yeah, they
a
don't
number
even
of
know
times.
what they're going to do with Eli.
Eli's back.
You're
Eli's
right
back.
about that.
This
right about
look,
that.
The Giants in the draft could be interesting in regards to, do they go running back, do they go quarterback with Eli Manning? There's a lot of things up in the air. But when it comes to Odell Beckham Jr., my last comment on that is smarten up. You're the highest profile player, at least the top 3 in the entire league.
But
With
who's
the
the veteran-
commercials with the
Who's
hair?
the highest
Who's
profile
smart enough?
player in the biggest market?
I'm
Yes.
surprised. Yes, I'm surprised. What's the Puerto Rican guy that plays with him, the one that was doing the cha-cha-cha, the dance.
Oh, well, he's no longer there.
He's no longer there.
He's no longer
See,
there.
he didn't have those problems when that guy was there, meaning you need somebody like that by you, Rick.
Okay.
That's the point
All right.
I was trying to make.
You're not convincing me. All right.
Okay.
We're up against the clock again. When we come back, Major League Baseball gets underway later on in the weekend. It's the Houston Astros defending a World Series championship. We'll talk about the Stros in about 2 minutes. Stay right there.
Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at LeBerge Casino Resort, home of Soundoff60. Round 5 with the boys coming up.
It's triple-digit season out here. Now, chances are, you won't crack open a light beer and suddenly find yourself in the middle of a crazy yet refreshing snowstorm, where a bunch of bikini models bring out more light beer to some crunchy classic rock riff. Nah. And anyways, you brought your own snow, and bikini models, and plenty of Shiner Light Blonde. Nice.
For nearly 85 years, Merchants and Farmers Bank has provided dependable, personal banking for Central and Southwest Louisiana. I saw your new boat last week, Chuck. Looks like fun. We have 8 convenient locations, checking and savings accounts, online bill pay, mortgage and personal loans, even a new app that allows you to take a picture of your paycheck and deposit it. Can't wait to see your kitchen remodel, Pam. Come in today to open a personal account. Merchants and Farmers, your future begins with our history.
All right, we promised baseball. Let's get into some baseball. Let's start with high school, though. Last week, very unusual. The Sulphur Tours are no hit. I'd like to have seen this. They still home.
Yeah.
And they win 1-0 over the Bar Bucks.
Wow.
No hit. That's interesting.
That is
That's
not unusual.
No, but
in
it's
high school,
but that's
I
cool.
mean, it is unusual, but not unheard of.
But if it's pretty cool, though. I mean, you get no hit and you win with a steal at home. All right.
Yeah, that is.
That's going to
That
be.
is.
Sam Houston was unbeaten and they lose to Acadiana. Barb right up there. Now Sulphur right now holds the lead in 3-5A.
Yeah.
Now we're early in the week now. That can change come Tuesday and Thursday. That kind of thing.
It can.
But this is another great year for. Now you got Sam Houston in the mix. The Bucks and the Tours seem to always be in the
That's
mix.
a good
and now you
group,
got
though.
Sam Houston.
Right here locally, too.
Yeah, it's going to be some interesting
Pretty good.
baseball coming out of 3-5A.
Totally agree.
Let's talk Houston Astros. You know, Altuve gets a lot. You get Carlos Carrera. George Springer, the stars. I mean, the names just go on and on, it seems like. And they become stars when you win a World Series. And let's not forget about Alex Bregman.
Let's don't forget what a great World Series that was.
It was, Scooter.
Which turned them into much bigger stuff.
Unbelievable.
I agree.
I'm embarrassed a little bit. I mean,
why would you say that?
Why? Because you're a Cardinal fan?
Major League Baseball, I don't cover it. I can be a fan. I don't have that luxury in anything else.
Right.
I'm a Cardinal fan.
Yeah.
I have always loved ignoring the Astros and kind of a little snooty.
Yeah, you were snooty.
Always, you know that.
You were
Always.
snooty.
Always. And he right now backyard.
I actually got caught up in that Astro mania. I was pulling for the Astros in the World Series like I never thought I could.
Yeah. 2 hours up the road, Scooter.
No, I
That's
don't
understandable.
care.
That's understandable.
I really did, though, and I'm still embarrassed about it, but I'm coming clean.
Verlander is a great pro. How can you root against 5'7" and maybe shorter?
Altuve.
I mean, the money he signed on the
know.
offseason. It's hard to root against.
to hit the way this guy hits,
I mean,
Rick.
and George Springer,
It's like,
you know, where his background and where he came from. And, of course, Alex Bregman.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just hard to root against those kind of guys. And it wasn't overnight. It seemed overnight, but they've been toiling.
Yeah.
They've been toiling, and that GM has
said
put this
that, too.
team together.
We
but
said
my
that, too,
gosh,
a number of times.
Verlander, McCullers, Morton, and they got Garrett Cole. I don't know anything about Garrett Cole. All right.
I don't know
He's
either.
a new addition from the staff from the Pittsburgh Pirates. I mean, 3.3 for Verlander on an ERA, 2.9.
That's pretty high.
4.2, 4.2, 3.6. These are ERAs from last year. And Ken Giles is a closer. And then we talked about the infield and the outfield.
Wow.
This is a team, now you mentioned the Chicago Cubs look like they could make a 2-3 year run.
Yeah.
But they were there. They were competitive.
And Cubs may very well be back this year. I'm not saying, they were one-hit wonders.
Right.
No, with the Astros, but it's just hard to repeat in that league.
It is.
But
I agree.
But it was a team that maybe wanted a whole year ahead, two ahead of schedule. And it wasn't like, won the World Series and everybody's a free agent.
Yeah, exactly.
Team is gone.
Exactly.
I mean,
they're all back.
They did
Let them
it,
stay.
they
They did it right. I guess they know what they've got.
Yeah.
They could build that dynasty. I mean, could they?
That's where
And
ownership
that team,
and management,
that team,
building a team.
That team, this is the part that really pained me about pulling for them.
Yeah.
But they were a likable group that was fun to watch.
Yes.
And watch them interact.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
It
seemed like they liked playing with each other.
I feel like I need the 8 steps of sobriety.
Oh, come on, Scooter. Really?
Well,
come on, dude.
Look, when we
get over it.
I mean, but I really did get caught up in them.
I think it was obviously prior to last season. We were lucky to get Alex Bregman on this show, the only local TV show, the only local TV broadcast in sports that had Alex Bregman. And we sat down with him for, 2 or 3 segments. Really down to earth. Good guy. You know him. That's the first time I met the guy.
Yes.
You knew him from LSU. And, solid. And look, he's got a World Series championship. Hopefully it won't change him. But, again, Altuve, Carrera, Guerrero, the infield, Springer, they just seem like now, got good chemistry, your word, good locker room, and Verlander. I keep going to Verlander. Remember we talked about that? Verlander.
He's the guy. He's the guy.
I remember when he
He's the quarterback.
came to Houston, it was like he wasn't all fired up about it. But he really embraced it after he got
I'm
there.
sure you know the story behind that.
Yeah.
It was like 1 minute before the deadline.
Yeah.
I don't know where he was. He might have been in the West Coast time. He picks up the phone and says, okay, and the deal goes through. 1 minute before the midnight deadline, Verlander approves the trade, and he's a Houston Astro. That's how close it was. But he just seems like, and his numbers weren't that strong late last year, remember?
No,
but he was Verlander, and he was multiple Cy Young winner,
Right.
and then he goes in there and he just solidified.
He was the guy. He was the guy. He was the guy that
was
finished it
the
for him.
playoffs, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. All right, Dodgers are strong, Nationals, and then Cleveland. All that talent, Cleveland. You mentioned the Cubs, and then the Yankees.
I'm just sitting here chuckling at
What?
Baseball reshuffles.
I know that, but
year.
they do.
Everybody thinks they can pick the standings in baseball.
I'm not even attempting. I just look at the stars and the players and the power.
And how you think they may finish?
Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton in New York.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
But New York,
Holy smokes.
That's a given, man, New York.
And then
that's
I got more than just those two guys in
can't
New
buy
York.
That's a given.
Holy smokes. All right, we're going to
That's a
wrap it
given.
up. When we come back, we'll talk golf. We'll talk McNeese Golf, playing locally, and the Houston Shell Open.
Yes, it is. Coming
and
up
we're getting
Easter
ready.
Sunday.
We're
Easter
getting
Sunday.
ready for the Masters, in
The
2
Masters.
weeks. We're coming back in
Yes,
about 2
indeed.
minutes. Stay right there.
Soundoff60 is brought to you by our friends at Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at La Berge Casino Resort. Soundoff60 24/7 online at soundoff60tv.com.
For more taste, less calories, and half the carbs, there's only one light beer to grab. Miller Lite. Hold true.
For nearly 85 years, Merchants and Farmers Bank has provided dependable personal banking for Central and Southwest Louisiana. I saw your new boat last week, Chuck. Looks like fun. We have 8 convenient locations, checking and savings accounts, online bill pay, mortgage and personal loans, even a new app that allows you to take a picture of your paycheck and deposit it. Can't wait to see your kitchen remodel, Pam. Come in today to open a personal account. Merchants and Farmers, your future begins with our history.
On or off the field, training and experience matter. As a board-certified and fellowship-trained surgeon, Dr. Brett Cassio has the training and experience to help you get back in the game. Award-winning research, the latest orthopedic techniques, right here at home. Cassio Sports Medicine.
You don't have to sacrifice taste to stay in the game. Miller Lite, always brewed to have more taste and be less filling. Miller Lite, hold true.
All right, golf is on the agenda for this final segment. Been a great show. If you missed any of it, check it out on the rebroadcast on Southern Link Channel 4 all week long, Monday through Sunday nights, every night, 9 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay. The McNeese golf team, I didn't realize this. This is the first time in maybe close to 10 years that they're hosting their own invitational. Think about that.
Yeah.
With all these great golf courses we have in this region, they haven't hosted a tournament in about 10 years. It's been a while.
Odd.
I mean,
That
you
is.
got Contraband Bayou.
Yeah.
You got the Country Club at Golden Nugget. You got the Lake Charles Country Club, Casati Punt.
You kind of wonder
I mean,
how
come
why
on,
has
you got
that
some
happened
great
before?
variety of golf tracks in this area. So Monday and Tuesday of this week only, 11 teams, Houston, Marquette, McNeese, ULL. They're playing at the Country Club at the Golden Nugget, which is a great course, and we all know. But this is far and few. This has been better late than never, if you will. Better late than never, you know, for this thing to go.
Good for the McNeese golf team. I hope that they can, you know,
And according to
years
McNeese,
past,
it'll come back next year.
wonderful.
And as the McNeese invitation.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it needs to.
Wow.
It needs
Wow,
to.
that'd be great.
And I think.
And they had Chris DeMarco in.
Tell me about that. Were you able to get to that?
No, I missed it, and I'm kicking myself. But I've always known he is just one of the nicest guys ever on the PGA Tour.
Collegiate, where? Florida?
Florida,
yeah.
In fact,
DeMarco.
I'm really good friends with the sports columnist in Gainesville, and I know who's a very good golfer, the sports columnist.
Yeah.
And I know DeMarco and he are really good friends, play a lot.
DeMarco
together.
was at the Country Club over the weekend for the second year that McNeese put on a big fundraiser. The year before was John Daly. I've heard stories. We'll leave that one alone.
I won't
John
comment
Daly
on
can be a
those.
character. Chris DeMarco, and that's a great event. Again,
It is. To raise money for the
McNeese
program.
raises thousands of
They
dollars
need that,
from
Rick.
that. And again,
They need
Austin
that.
Burke, the head coach at McNeese, again, we've talked about it. That's what you got to do, right?
You have
gotta
to, Rick,
coach.
man.
You got to plan
Gotta have
tournaments,
finances,
and
man,
You got
to
to
have a
raise
good program.
money.
Spend
All
a
right.
lot of time in Europe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So again, the McNeese Invitational going on. We'll see how they end up after Tuesday
good luck.
play at the Country Club at Golden Nugget. All right. Let's talk PGA. Houston Shell Open.
Yes.
Every year, it seems like Phil Mickelson is there. Ricky Fowler will be there. The defending champ, Russell Henley, will be there. Justin Thomas will not. Dustin Johnson will not. Tiger Woods hasn't played Houston in probably 15 years.
When you are the tournament before the Masters, it basically comes down. Some guys like playing the week before a major. Some guys don't. And it's just
Jordan
personal.
Spieth.
I think it's
Don't want to
something-
forget about Jordan Spieth. He will be in
he's going
Houston.
to play in Texas.
Yeah, he's going to play in Texas. And
I will.
rightfully so.
I will be there, guys.
You going?
figured
I will.
Good
be
for
there.
you.
I will
Still
be
at the
there.
still
Have
at
you
the
ever missed it?
still at the what is it called? The Redwood, Red something?
Yes.
Stone,
Yes.
something?
Redstone. That's it. TPC
Well, he used
Redstone.
And
to
I
be
will-
up in the Woodlands.
At the Woodland.
It always was at the Woodland Scooter, and I will not bring my phone.
Do not bring your phone, sir. Do not bring your
Still,
phone.
the year Mike Heinen from here won that, if you remember.
Yes.
Might have been the most fun events I've ever covered.
Really.
And that was probably at the Woodlands, right?
That was at the
At
Woodlands.
the TPC
yeah.
Woodland.
I remember the year, guys. Funny story, guys. One year, the guy by the last name of Brooks, if y'all remember who I am, won it. His sister worked at the Isle of Capri as our marketing manager.
Really?
I can't remember the name, but the last name was Brooks. Help me, Scooter, if you know who it is. The last name was Brooks that won the Shell Open.
I
and
know.
his sister worked at the Isle of Capri
Okay.
with me. She got us Eagle Nest tickets and everything.
Yeah.
It was just the best, man. But the last name was Brooks, but I can't remember the first name.
I've been able to watch Jason Day. He's one of my favorite players. But I want to somehow get over there. I want to
Really?
watch Bubba Watson play.
Wow.
And he is on a resurgence.
Wow.
Here's a guy late last year was having all kind of issues, and much like
remember Bubba,
much like Nick Foles
Yeah.
was from the NFL. He was considering retirement.
Yeah.
He's won twice already. He
Golf
won
would do that
Riviera,
to you,
and
man.
now he won the match play over the weekend in
Golf
Austin.
would do that to
Bubba
you.
Watson.
I remember
The
Bubba,
way
man.
he shaped shots, I'm not saying he'll be in the conversation come Masters Week. He's got 2 green jackets. He'll be in the conversation.
I
He
hope
is.
so. He's on my fantasy team.
Is he
Wow.
really?
You don't
Oh,
care
here we go.
about
As
my
always,
don't
fantasy.
care about
right
your
here.
fantasy.
As always. Wow.
But
As
Tiger
always.
Woods will be there. We'll talk more about Masters
Yes.
next week. Phil Mickelson has done his.
Well, Phil's won one. feeling like he's on a roll now.
You know,
I love
this
Lefty,
could be
though.
a very
That's my guy.
interesting, and you know, the Houston Open, the Shell Houston Open can be interesting
It can.
as a prelude. But
It
I'm
will
with
be.
you. If you were playing, would you want to play, or
I
would
would
you
play
want
the
to be
week
on your
before.
own practice?
Man, I would play the week
You
before.
learn
No.
your game. I've never played in a major to know my game that well, but I mean, it's just personal preference.
Yeah.
Some guys feel like they need to stay sharp.
Yeah.
Some guys just want to tune up.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm playing.
Would you?
I'm getting as many reps in as I possibly can.
Competitive
Football,
golf.
Rick.
Now,
Football.
I do know Houston. You know, they're pretty smart. They try to recreate a lot of the conditions at Augusta
Yeah.
on that golf course.
Yeah.
With the green.
I'm definitely playing.
This is a pretty strong field, some of the names. And I didn't
it
list
is,
them
Rick,
all.
it is,
You know.
it is.
Matt
It
Kuchar
is.
is there. J.B. Holmes is
It
there.
is, man.
Hendrik Stenson.
That's
big,
no doubt
great
about it.
player,
It's a good
Hendrik
field.
Stenson. So
If
it's
you
a
see
strong
Ricky
field.
Fowler, ask him why he didn't play in the match play.
I'm going to tell him Scooter.
Okay,
Told me to ask you that. Okay?
Houston Open.
He told me to ask him. I'm
Houston
definitely
Open
do it.
starts Thursday, and of course, great prelude to the Masters next week, and that will be
Yes.
on our agenda for next week's show, along with what's the hell of a catch in the NFL.
It will be
Bring
next
a-
week.
bring a
We'll tell you what it
football.
is.
I
We
want
will.
our own little.
We will.
Right
I
here.
promise
This
you
will
we
be
will.
This will be our football field right here. All right,
here.
great show, guys.
Let's do it.
Glad to have you aboard. We'll do it all again next time, everybody.
Soundoff60 airs on Suddenlink Cable Channel 4 Monday through Sunday nights at 9 and again Saturday and Sunday mornings at 10. Soundoff60 also airs throughout Southwest Louisiana on Vive Broadband Channel 6 at 9 p.m. Check your local listings. Post your questions and comments for the guys and access our website and our great advertising partners at soundoff60tv.com.